Well, hello there. So today we're going to look at objects. This topic is very closely related to what we looked at last week, which was classes. Classes, if you like, are the design for the things that we're going to create, and objects are the actual things that we create. So in today's lecture, we're going to look at, first of all, the motivation. Why do we want to do this? Then we'll look at an example, the Home Hub that we've seen several times before, and we'll build a class that we'll then use to make multiple objects, each one being a different type of light. We'll see how to use those objects, and then we'll examine the idea of code reuse. So the idea of reusing the same bit of code over and over again to do different things, which is obviously going to save time and typing and all those things. So then we'll look at another example, the pizza, and we'll use objects representing pizzas so that we can easily build a basket functionality. So every time a new pizza is selected by the user or generated randomly, we can put it in the basket. For the last example, we'll look at the Uni app, and each different type of user will be represented by a different object. Okay, so the motivation really is that last week, as I said, we met the idea of classes, which are the design, and the classes produced an object, which is a variable in our code with data and methods attached. So it's a kind of coherent thing inside our code that's got all the data it needs and all the methods for dealing with that data. A thing might be, a light, spotlight, like we've seen last week, or a pizza. So what does a pizza need to know? It needs to know about its, what the toppings are, what type of pizza it is, and the price. So but what we want to do this week is use multiple versions of that. So last week lecture, each class we had produced one object. So we had a ceiling light and a spotlight and I can't remember all of them, a heating class that produced a heating object. In this week, and in general, this is much more common, we use a class to produce lots and lots of different objects. And each object will have different, they have the same design, but they're different in the sense that they have different data attached to them. So if you think about users in the Uni app, we only need one design for the student class, one design, but we can have multiple objects, each one representing a different student. Okay, I'm going to finish this first video there, and then we'll look at this Home Hub example again.